We are good with the Seamenverse, right? Before we continue, or
I kind of dig the Seamen verse.
do you want to? I dig it too. I think it's like just like weird enough to be like very memorable, but also like very comic oriented too. So
Yeah.
I think it definitely works. Would you want to call it like Into the Seamenverse or Welcome to the Seamenverse,
Oh,
or
that's a good
should
one.
it just be like the Seamenverse?
I actually like the Into the Seamenverse after the hit movie Into the Spider-Verse. It plays very well. I think people would understand. Versus more of like, oh yeah, it's just called Seamenverse, man.
Yeah, I kind of.
It
It should be definitely something like Into the Seamen verse or
Return to the Seamenverse.
Welcome to the Seamen verse. I think Into the Seamen verse. I think it's my fave.
Welcome to Into the Seamenverse, the podcast where Navy veterans chart a course through comic books and comic culture. Each episode, we will dive into the best and worst of comics, graphic novels, movies, TV shows, and whatever else the multiverse throws at us. I'm your host, Drew. Today I'm going to be joined by my seaworthy crew of comic comrades, Adam and Joe. Say hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
Awesome. Well, today is going to be our maiden voyage. We were going to be talking about the new Superman movie. We're going to crack open Absolute Batman. We're going to brace for the new Fantastic Four film, and we're going to discuss even more comic news and events. But first, since this is going to be our first episode, we're going to go into our origin stories. How did a bunch of sailors fall in love with comic books? All right, guys. So, hey, each hero we know has their origin story. So let's start with ours. We're gonna go around the table and we're gonna talk about basically what first was our first exposure into comics, basically what made you fall in love with them, and why you kept reading them. So, Adam, man, tell me your origin.
Yeah, so mine is gonna start back way back in 1992 with the X-Men cartoon on Fox. That's for like 20 years that was my base knowledge on X-Men and Marvel and stuff like that. A couple years later, my neighbor introduced me to Spawn, and I thought Spawn was like the greatest character design. I'm not an artist in the traditional sense. I did grow up drawing a little bit, so like maybe in future episodes you'll hear me talk about characters design and stuff like that. But I thought Spawn was the coolest. I thought his design was top notch. Well, flash forward to the year 2015, and I had to take a break from drinking alcohol, and to fill that void, it's gonna a weird tangent, but I'm gonna bring it back into comics. But to fill that void, I tried to get back into photography. I had like a DSL camera, but I found that I didn't really care for landscape photos, portraits, stuff like that. And I was bouncing around YouTube and I saw dudes videos of guys just taking pictures of action figures. So my first dive into back into like comics and that stuff was actually like action figures. So I started buying action figures of my favorite comic book characters and started taking pictures of action figures. From there, it sprung on this collection inside of me, and then from there, I just moved on to comic books, and I started collecting comic books in 2015. Since then, I probably got around maybe in around 2,000 comic books in like 10 short boxes, and so like yeah, that's basically my genesis.
Nice. I can see that you have a ton of figures behind you.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first one? Like, what was your first figure that
Heck
like
yeah,
really
I'm
set it off?
glad you asked. I got it actually graded. I got it in case actually. I picked it up at Toys R Us. Remember those? But
Nice.
it's a slave Leia,
Nice.
and I got it graded. You can see the grade on the side,
Cool.
and I got it graded because I don't think they're ever gonna make another slave Leia. First of all, because they don't. Disney doesn't use slave in the names. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Boba Fett's ship is no longer called Slave One,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, it's That's disappointing.
And so, yeah, that was one of my first figures. Got it encased and everything.
Nice. So you started collecting Spawn basically as like your first comic,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Cool. Do you still have any of those Spawn comics laying around?
Oh yeah, that's probably my biggest collection.
Nice. Cool. I remember Spawn when that came out, like it was like something completely different. Like everyone was just like, what the fuck? Like the story was awesome and it was just like brutal, like and demons and death and blood and violence. And
Did you
yeah,
guys ever
man.
catch the HBO cartoon?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just
That
gonna
shit
say
was
like,
firing too.
yeah, you
Never
guys
saw
watch
it
that.
all the way through.
So
Is
you
it
were
worth?
big on the cartoons then. That's how it kind of got you started. Cool. So when you started actually when you were collecting the books, besides Spawn, did you have any other favorite like characters?
Yeah, I was always been a big Hulk guy. I like Hulk. Oh, the Batman. Batman's probably my one seed if not for Spawn. Everything else, yeah, pretty much it's Spawn and Batman. Everything else, I didn't want to get too invested in because there's just I just want, you could get lost in the sauce if you start bouncing around everywhere trying to
Yeah.
catch up.
Yeah, you kind of have to like stick to something. You can't
Yeah.
just like go willy-nilly because you'll be broken no time for sure. Cool. Well, Joe, let me hear your origin. Where did you begin your comic journey?
A lot like Adam, like 92. But even before that, I was a He-Man kid, and then I was a Ninja Turtles kid. Uh, Buff ass dudes doing good. That's like all those shows, especially when they were like combined with animals. Like Biker Mice from Mars, Cowboys of Moo Mesa, uh, but all that stuff, and then kind of 92 came around, and there was also Batman the Animated Series. The they had Spider-Man for a while. They had of course they had X-Men, which was like my very first intro into the wide world of Marvel and the vast array of characters.
Even like UPN back in the day, it had like Iron Man and
Yeah, they had all those. Yeah, all those shows. They didn't have the run like
the original Marvel Cinematic Universe.
yeah.
Right?
uh, and we didn't. I didn't really come from a family or even a place that had a lot of comic book enthusiasts or stores or anything like that. Growing up, where out in the middle of nowhere, but always dug on it. Watch the cartoons, watch however I get the media without having any. I never had any comic books really, unless you count like going to like a monster truck rally and some guy dressed like Spider Man's up there giving out free comic books. Uh,
Bigfoot Spider-Man team up.
yeah, Spider Man's driving Gravedigger, uh, and then getting into the Navy and having to spend hours on watch in CSMC, and they had the computer up there, so you could do 4 hours, and you could go in like a Wikipedia black hole of comic book characters, and like read everybody's background story, and basically get a big synopsis of like what they've been doing in the entire history of, every time they've had every team up they've had, every villain they've vanquished, all that. You can get all that on Wikipedia. So I mean, I never really, and still I didn't buy comic books. I haven't started buying comic books until 6 months ago, three
Yeah.
months ago, with from Adam's recommendations and him wanting to, have someone to talk to about these, crazy stories. And I always dug the stories, and now it's like the whole reset thing, and uh, the the Marvel Cinematic Universe is in a lull right now, and I dig on like new content for the characters that I've now grown to love. So it's I'm still a newbie, but I'm getting there. I mean, I'm not spending hundreds of dollars a month or anything on comic books, but I can see how it can get away from you rather quickly.
Yeah.
You know, uh, and also all the other massive amounts of content there is out there for comic book guy, or comic book or comic book adjacent or something. Like it's crazy when you're watching these shows and you're like, wow, this is a really good show, like based on the graphic novel. Like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. And so all the stuff that is coming out, it seems like somehow it's tied into comic books. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's kind of how I fit into this equation here. I'm kind of the new guy to the comic book, you know, physical media.
Yeah, yeah, and that's cool too. Um, so like what comic like kind of made you realize that you are gonna like start to collect comic books then, Joe, since you just kind of started?
Um, well, the boys
Okay.
and uh, dude, like I fell hard for Invincible when it when the first season came out. I was like, what the fuck is this? Then
Hmm.
this is wild stuff. Like that first episode, the very end when Omni Man goes wild,
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
and I remember I was laying in bed and was like, I'll pop this on. Like if I fall asleep during it, it ain't gonna be that big a deal. And at first I was like, this is kind of fucking whack, dude. Teenage boy, I don't give a shit about this nerd. But then his dad goes absolute friggin' ballistic, and I was like, this is. I was like, I want to know more about this whole thing. So I bought like the first series or whatever, uh, paperback, and hammered through it. And I haven't really kept up with purchasing any newer issues or anything, but I every time the show comes on, I watch it. Every new season, and then I end up watching from the beginning, like restarting it every couple of months. It seems like just something to put on. But yeah, I that one got me. Like I was like, I want to be reading more of this stuff. I like that, and the boys too, obviously.
Yeah. Seems like the kind of like the darker like side of comic books,
Dude,
the darker
I really
storyline.
dig on like overly violent, not not like crazy stuff. Not like I'm a fucking weirdo either, but like like John Wick. That's an incredibly violent movie, and it's got a cool story. Uh, Dread, incredibly violent movie, cool story. I like the over the top violence, but and those shows both bring it to you, and the books. Yeah,
Yeah.
so when I saw that, I was like, man, I should probably be reading at least this.
Yeah. Cool. Did well, you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but question kind of for both of you. Did were either of you bringing comic books on deployment? I know Joe, you were looking at like Wikipedia and stuff like that, and going on the internet. But did you bring any comic books, Adam?
I did not, and I wasn't all of my knowledge on comic books didn't. I learned as I started collecting in 2015, but had I known then what I know now, there's like omnibuses that could easily you could all you need is one or two omnibuses, and that could get you through a deployment easily.
Yeah, I was thinking of it just when I was thinking up that question, and I never brought any comic books either. I mean, I think the sheer like space on the ship was really the deterring factor.
Yeah.
And you couldn't obviously keep up with anything week to week.
There were other dudes on the ship too that knew of their fair share of like comic book lore. You know, Nathan. He had knowledge. He had grown up reading comic books and all that stuff, so he was kind of cool to talk to about that. But yeah, you couldn't bring those on the ship. And then what are you gonna care? 15-minute intervals. You read your stories.
Yeah,
It'd be
right.
easier. It'd be easier just to go buy an entire yeah book and just bring it on board and read the whole thing or whatever, or just watch 300. I don't know.
Nice. Cool. Well, for me, it started really when I was a kid. I collected comic books at a young age. I can't even remember the first ones I collected, but I was strictly a Marvel guy. Like X-Men was my jam. I loved everything X-Men. I've had many storylines from them. And I've always really I've loved drawing comics too. Um, it's been kind of one of my dreams, if you will. Not to get too serious on here, but like I've always wanted to kind of make my own comic. I did draw some on deployment, which maybe we can revisit in the future. But then I kind of stopped. I stopped collecting for a while. And then I restarted, I want to say close to when I got out of the military, like early 2000s.
Mm.
Um, and I went into uh a lot of indie stuff, kind of like Joe's into. I didn't want to go into the superhero like stuff. I was like, I don't want this, garbage. So I went into like Why the Last Man, Preacher, um, I can't remember what else I read. But books like that, anything I could find that was different. Then I stopped again and kind of just like lost touch with it. And through us talking about comic books, it, again, has kind of made me pick them up too. So I'm kind of with Joe. I'm restarting again for what's like the third time now. Um, but I really enjoy it, and I missed it a lot. And it's cool. My wife is happy I'm reading, so that's fun. But yeah, I'm really into it. And I enjoy looking at the art too, like I think that's a big factor for me. I would consider myself like an art snob when it comes to comic books, because if I don't like the art, it's gonna really deter me from the book.
Yeah.
What about you guys with that? Are you more art or are you more story driven?
I um I like the cover appeal of the comic book, but if the story is really good, I could get by the like lower quality interior.
I don't really have like the artist eye, so I never can really be like, oh, that's good or bad. I don't know. Uh, I'm a story guy. If you tell me the story's wild, or or I need to read it to get caught up or something to understand, the next part of the bigger story. I can. Yeah, the art is the cover, like Adam said, is I like that quite a bit. But once I get into the story, it's you know I can get past the art and everything like that if it's bad or great or whatever. I just that's not a real big deciding factor for me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, sometimes it works out, for me. I have been like looking at covers through, our conversations outside of the podcast. And I did find one recently. I grabbed it for the cover and reading the story in it because I was just like, might as well read it.
Yeah.
And now like I want to continue the story.
Oh, cool.
So, that's fun. So now I have to go back and find those comics.
Yeah, when we share our pull boxes over our text group, I don't know if you guys could tell, but I separate mine into three categories. My normal pull list, my cover purchases, and then stories that I want to read to see if they're worthwhile continuing.
Nice. Well, on that note, Adam, let's go into our pull lists. The pull list each episode, we're just going to discuss what we pull each week. It's going to be kind of our current comics that we're reading, that we're just dying to get, kind of like our subscriptions, if you will. But this is our current list, and then maybe some new stuff that we find. So we all are reading Absolute Batman. Let's go for the jugular right from the beginning. Um, it's nuts, right?
It's fucking amazing.
Awesome. It's I like it. I like it, man. It's awesome.
What
It's really
so
cool.
what I was telling you guys that what I like about this is like you get to ignore what maybe 70 years of Batman history and then we get to start our own Batman origins and so we're getting introduced to I'm gonna say our as the context is like we picked up this series as new, so we get to, even though I'm fucking 40 years old, we get to experience our, Selena Kyle, our fucking Alfred Pennyworth, and we get to introduce these characters again with forgetting 70 years of Batman history, and they started off with a bang. I don't know. There's no other way to put it. Scott Snyder is fucking killing it.
Yeah, I agree. We're all on issue 10
And
right now, correct? So we
correct.
are all up to date on issue 10 when this episode comes out.
Yeah.
So please take that into context. Which, holy shit, that was a crazy episode or issue, right? I mean,
Are we
damn.
just getting it right into it right now?
I mean,
I,
might as
I,
well. We can backtrack or start from the beginning, but
well,
holy shit.
look, okay.
Because
I think maybe just like a quick rundown of the new Batman retelling.
Go for it.
Uh, his dad died protecting kids from a mass shooter at a zoo,
yeah,
right?
yes,
His mom is
Mhm.
still alive.
they're not
They're
billionaires.
not billionaires. They're middle class people. His mom works for the mayor, who happens to be Jim
Jim
Gordon.
Gordon,
The chief of police is Bullock,
Bullock.
and then and Alfred, since they weren't billionaires, Alfred is not the butler for the Wayne family. Instead, he is a part of he's like a contract killer or
He's almost like an
spy.
MI6, like
Yeah,
fucking.
he's some sort of like special agent, but maybe more. I don't know. It's kind of, but you get the idea here. He's a killer. He's a badass, but he's just in Gotham to check out this new gang that's in town. We won't go too far. I don't think we should really need to go into that part of the story. But and then Bruce Wayne is a construction worker.
No, he's like a city engineer.
He's a city and okay, he's a city
Yeah.
engineer. He and he is since he's also Batman, mind you, he
Yeah,
has been on all these major projects throughout the city and has somehow incorporated all of his Batmanness to pop out at locations that exiting through. He knows everything about every bit of the city that's
yeah. So he's able to have different layers scattered throughout the
yeah,
city. So he,
multiple caves and ins and outs for these things. And his best friends are named Waylon, Oz.
uh,
What the other two are
the Riddler and
Yeah, it's like Edward and
Yeah,
Selena is also.
Ed and Harvey. So his best friends are Killer Croc, Riddler, uh,
Penguin,
Two Face, and Penguin. They are, of course, they are not these characters. They are just his college buddies or whatever.
his actual
His
friends,
actual
Yeah.
friends in real life. These people are not. You know,
as
it
of
seems
now.
like, yeah, they all have interesting jobs. Like still, Killer Croc is a prize fighter or a boxer or a MMA fighter or something. Uh, Harvey still works in government, correct?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah. And Batman is, doing his thing, but he's fucking monstrous. I'll let if someone wants to get in on the Batman part of it. I'm kind of
he's
spent on running that,
well.
that quick run through.
We got his bio in issue 10. He's like 6'9" and 300 pounds.
Yeah, right.
And he turned his whole body and suit is a weapon. You could say he had like shit embedded into his skin that he could use as weapons. And his suit, like his bat symbol, is the head of an axe. So his whole suit and body is essentially a weapon at this point.
When they said that okay, I had to read that portion of that panel like 15 times before it sank in when it was like 7'2", 422 pounds or something. I was like, wait a second, wait. Are they talking about Bane? And I went back and
Bane is even bigger.
I was like,
Yeah, Bane is nuts. Like he's
and then I had to, I'm like, oh, maybe it's his suit. But yeah, and then I mean, yeah, Batman's a friggin'
He's a
horse.
unit.
He is huge.
yeah. And it's cool because he does retain all the intelligence and everything that he has as what, the original I would say maybe normal Batman has too. And it kind of tracks like we were talking about, he has all these construction sites and things all over the city that he's had, and he's like stashed things in different places and used his resources to kind of like ensure his like victories. And we saw him actually do that to his body, right? Like in issue 10, like we're talking about, he stashed like weapons and things in his body. Like it is
He
insane.
pulls that lockpick out like from his like fucking
Yeah, like
roof of
his
his mouth.
roof of his mouth.
And
And
then
like
when he's been like docile, and I think he's turned out he's been pulling his fucking teeth and putting them into his hand and shit till he uses a. I'm like, what the? Yeah, this guy's wild. Relying
yeah,
more on the human, I guess, side of Batman, and not so much the the billionaire
Tech.
toys. But he still
Yeah.
has all these toys. He's using his fucking feeding tube to tap into his
Oh
stomach
yeah.
acid to spray that dude in the face. Oh my goodness, dude! Yeah,
yeah.
it shit was fucking
Unhinged.
wild.
He that
I do like the ears too, or they're just
yeah.
like knives he pulls out. Like
Oh yeah,
he just has weapons everywhere, you know? It'd be like, I don't know, like just some sort of a comedic skit, right? You're just pulling out like weapons from everything, every pocket you have, and you end up with a pile of like, rocket launchers and stuff like that. That seems like what he would do.
when when in this series here, when Batman's doing all this fighting and stuff, and you're reading, and you're looking at the pictures and the art, and you're reading it. You, I'm like, he's killing all these people. What is going on? And then like three panels later, Alfred from the Observer post is like, oh, every single bone break, every single nick and cut. Be sure to ensuring to miss every major artery, vein,
Yeah.
nerve ending, only causing as much physical pain as possible without killing them. Like, okay, so we can get around the
I
the hammers to
yeah.
the head and shit like that. He's such a fine tuned weapon that he can kill you, or I'm sorry, put you
Main.
as close to death as possible.
It was
As
hilarious.
painful as
It
possible.
was hilarious a couple of issues ago after the Black Mass arc where he's like Batman went on a rampage and they're like we ran out of ambulances and we had to
Yeah.
start we had to start getting Ubers for their victims and then we ran out of Ubers and then you saw I think Grayson in a rickshaw carrying a fucking
EMT Dick Grayson, rickshaw and a
Yeah.
patient. Like
Yeah.
everybody that's in the everybody that every character so far has been somehow represented in this retelling, this new stuff. I like that.
Yeah. And for as big and badass as he is, like he's not like beating everyone like, like just easily, right? Like he's had a lot of challenges. The villains that he has fought, they've kind of give him a run for his money. I mean, he still hasn't technically beaten Bane yet. But what was your kind of your favorite villain that you've seen so far?
I mean, it has to be Bane at this point. We're at issue 10. I was anticipating Bane, and then they even made more monstrous than he is in the main universe.
Yeah.
I have to agree there. Even though I did really enjoy the that gang. What were they called? The
Party Gang, I think.
party animals.
Party Animals.
The party animals gang. I like the way that they just kind of just there was no point to the crime. Just much mayhem as possible. And I guess they all have those helmets on too that said,
Yeah, those helmets that were
commit a murder, get ten thousand
yeah,
dollars, armed robbery, get $5,000 from the syndicate or whatever, whatever the crime gang was. But I thought they were pretty cool. But yeah, Bane's got to be the only answer to this question.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, but Bane, they kind of like they kept him pretty traditional,
yeah.
Like I mean, he looks relatively the same. He's just a lot bigger and a little bit more ripped, I guess, if that's possible. But the other villains have been very different. Like we got what, Mr. Freeze.
Oh, that was a fucking creepy ass
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, right. Like,
And they they like just Mr. Freeze always has to be super traumatic fucking character too.
yeah.
I don't know, like poor guy, give him a break. Just let him be Killer Frost or something at this point. But no, he always has to be has a fucked up origin.
hmm Yeah, and who else was there? We got a little bit of Poison Ivy, I think. She was in like the last one, I believe, when he was going through the green.
There's a few cameos in the last issue. I think Clayface was in there,
Yeah, yeah.
and
What was I missed that? What happened?
I think Batman stepped on him.
Oh, was that who that was supposed to be?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Oh,
said
okay, okay. I was wondering like what kind of weird experimentations are happening in this what they call it? Well, Doctor
Arkham,
Arkham,
Arkham.
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 Yeah, Arkham. So
And boy,
they
what they did to old Wayland, man.
there you go. Yeah, exactly. That brings us to
Oh
the
shit.
experiment they did on Wayland.
Like, yeah, was it like it's such a weird look for that for I guess what I consider would be a traditional Killer Croc look.
Yeah,
You know, he's way more Croc like, I guess. I don't know. Batman was riding him.
yeah.
Like it looked like he like had was using him as his steed.
Yeah. So like his Bat is that going to be the new Batmobile?
Speaking of the new Batmobile,
Yeah, there you go.
that
Like,
thing was
if you thought the Tumblr in Nolan's Batman movie was ridiculous, allow me to introduce you to Absolute Batman Batmobile.
that thing is crazy.
I think they're called Earth Movers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, but
Absolute Batman is definitely a hit. You know,
So
I mean,
they clearly experimented on Batman in issue 10.
yeah,
Like, do you see Batman having some sort of like superpowers where he becomes like an official like superhero, like superpowered hero, or do you think this is like a genesis into Man Bat?
well, if they turned Clayface to goo,
And
Croc into that thing,
yeah,
I mean,
do you think Man Bat is coming?
could be a man bat type situation. Or I
Or
mean,
do you think
or
he's
does he
gonna
start hanging
be?
with metahumans, like real
Yeah, yeah,
ones?
yeah, yeah. I could also see like a scenario where they prepped his body to be injected with venom, and then there's like a and then Batman has to like wean himself off of venom for whatever reason, you know? Like he gets
Yeah,
addicted to venom. Those are my three scenarios that outcomes that could possibly come out. Either you get superpowers, there's a Man Bat story arc coming, or a venom. He's like
Batman.
yeah, Bat Bane type deal.
And that's exactly that's the first one I went to when I saw it. I thought it was like a Bane type situation where I'm, getting injected with venom or something like that. But yeah, the other two make perfect sense too.
yeah. Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards the Bane side of things. Like he got injected with something to give him the same like strength as Bane. And he may have to use that when he fights Bane
To beat
again.
him, you're right.
Yeah, because I mean Bane just like handled him. I mean he was like dislocating his
That was such a
like
cool fight.
joints. Yeah, yeah. I mean sucks for Batman, but Bane was awesome.
I don't even think has Batman even landed a punch on Bane yet. A
I
couple,
don't
I
think
guess,
so.
but nothing to even stagger him. Every time he approaches Batman, he just kicks him in the face or something, knocks him out again.
Yep. So we're all kind of new back onto this comic collecting thing. So we probably will have like questions maybe noobs may have for comic book collectors. But yeah, if you're listening to us and you want to comment on any of the crazy stuff we're talking about, please do. I'm sure we'll post this on Facebook. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you. But with that being said, do you know how long this run is supposed to be? Like, are they just going to continue this until it dies down, or is it a certain like number of issues that they
I
have?
I could see this lasting as long as people are paying for it.
Cool. Well, I'm definitely going to continue to pick it up. I know you guys are too, and we'll probably keep talking about it.
Now
Um,
there's the just to kind of like piggyback off of already this Absolute Batman. Uh, Gerardo, you're reading Absolute Wonder Woman, um, and I've seen they have Absolute Superman and Absolute.
Green Lantern and Flash are out.
Okay, and these are all I'm assuming retellings as well of origin stories and what have yous.
It's the same universe.
Same
yeah,
universe. So at some point in time, would there be like a Absolute Justice League?
That yeah. There's a evil team comic book coming out, I believe, with
Oh, I'd be interested in reading that.
and I
yeah.
think that's going to be like including the Joker in that evil.
Keep me on the loop for that guy.
Yeah, they mentioned the Joker in
Yeah,
Absolute Batman as he's the rich billionaire, correct?
I think so. Yeah, I can only imagine how unhinged. Like if at issue 10 we got this series, this unhinged. I can only imagine what's going to happen when they introduce Joker.
I've never
Yeah.
read any other Batman comic books, obviously, based on my origin story. Uh, are all of them as violent as this is, or just some of them, or some runs are? And this one
Yeah,
just happens to be
it
a
just
really
depends on the writer.
come a long way from Adam West. I'll tell you
Yeah,
what.
for sure.
And this guy's shoving acid pellets into the skin under his forearms. So,
Taking his teeth out and using him for brass knuckles, basically. There's
I thought he punched somebody's teeth out and then used their teeth as like brass.
I took it like he was using his own teeth.
Uh,
Maybe I'm wrong. Shit, I don't know.
that's the way
I,
I took it. I
I
I'll
took it
mean,
he used
I'll
his own.
reread it.
I'll get back to you guys next week.
Yeah, let's break it out real quick. There's also Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, that one looks crazy. I haven't started that one.
They said this. Yeah, I heard good things about it. I'm just unfamiliar with the characters.
Yeah, and like Joe said, I am reading Absolute Wonder Woman. I think it is fantastic as well. The story is great. And it is just super violent as well. And I've never really been a fan of Wonder Woman. Actually, like I said in my origin, I've always been an X-Man guy.
Yeah,
Not even fully Marvel. Like I just was X-Man, X-Force, X-Factor, anything like any X in it. Was never really an Avengers fan or anything like that, and certainly never really collected DC anything.
like my
Um,
Batman collection, my mainstream Batman collection is huge, but that's for like 2 or 3 years. They're putting out two Batman comics a month, so that I was just and I got every single one.
so let's talk about our next pull list. I think we're all up to date on this one as well. Battle Beast, right?
It keeps selling out in my LCS, so I've only gone through the first issue.
Okay. All right. Um,
I have number three, but I have not read it yet. And the guy at my comic book store also said because it wasn't in my box yet, my pull box there at the store, and I was like, well, I'll just wait until it's in there. He's like, dude, just buy it now, and then this is the hottest book out there right now. It's like everybody's loving this shit,
Yeah,
and
feel free to talk about it. I'm not afraid of spoilers.
um,
I mean,
I don't know about it either, so I'm not. It would be Drew telling us.
yeah, I mean, there's not really much to spoil. I mean, it's essentially a book of him wanting to kill everything until he dies.
Until he dies, yeah.
And I'm all on board for this ride. Yeah, this is great. Like, this is an amazing comic so far. I don't know how long it's gonna last. That's
Not
my
long. Oh,
my
it's
thing.
not
It
gonna be
can't.
No,
long. Nah.
this was. And when I saw when you told me this was coming out, uh, I was jazzed because like I said, I liked the Invincible show, and when he shows up and does work at that I can't think what that guy's name was, but the robot face dude, and shows and just manhandles the Invincible and his whole crew, and then like leaves.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that thing's ridiculous. Battle Beast. I loved it right then and there when he showed up and did his like 2 episodes and then disappeared
Yeah.
and then came back. You kind of see what he's doing now, but I have Wikipedia Invincible, and they went down the rabbit hole of like the Viltrumites and where Battle Beast kind of fits in and stuff. This is before this comic even came out, so I was like double amped when it's just an awesome. Like I just travel around the galaxy, man, and just fight.
Yeah.
Just that's all I do.
Violently.
Like I have no friends, nothing. I just fight. I'm just looking. Someone has to kill me, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like his wish. He's like, I want to fight until I die, basically. And I feel like every time I read it, there's like Slayer in the background, like it's just nonstop. That's all I can hear is like the music in the back, man. And it's just a heavy metal ride of like blood and guts and just badassness, man. So yeah, we guys definitely need to catch up on that one. Well, what are some of your what's on your pull list, guys? Adam?
um I'll start off with the mainstream Batman. I've been collecting it since I got back to comics. Like I said, I have a ton of issues. They had a really like solid like fucking 4 or 5 years run of just like back to back killer story arcs. It started with Scott Snyder, who's writing absolutely Batman right now, and then it went to Tom King, who's another great writer. I highly recommend his stuff. And then from Tom King, I believe it went to James Tynion the fourth, who that's I got introduced to James Tynion through Batman, and then from there I expanded to all his independent stuff, and like fucking, he might be my number one writer. Like all he does is write gold. And then it went to a couple other Chip Zdarsky, who's another excellent renowned writer, wrote Batman for a while. I think he just ended up, and then it just I can't remember who's writing it right now. The storyline started dipping low. It started getting less interesting. And then I think I mentioned to you guys that they're ending this volume of Batman and they're starting off with the next volume in a couple of months. So that's how you could kind of tell how the story's been tapering off, because they're probably losing an audience right now and they want to bring it up by introducing a new number one. I'm just gonna run through my pull list. I've been collecting Spawn. I'm just collecting Spawn out of like loyalty. Um, at this point, still good. It's still fun to see Spawn do Spawn stuff, but um, that's a personal pull for myself. I'm not, telling you guys to go read it or whatever. If you're a Spawn guy, you're a Spawn guy. You know who you are.
Yeah.
And then my last three is back to the Ultimate Universe with the same feelings, thoughts and feelings about the absolute universes. I love that we're starting off with this new universe and we get to reintroduce my favorite characters with their own histories. I get to ignore 60, 70, 50 years of history and we get to start it again. So I've been picking up Ultimate Spider-Man, the Ultimate, and Ultimate Wolverine. And then the Ultimates and Ultimate Spider-Man are almost as good as Absolute Batman.
Joe, what about you? Is that it, Adam? Sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
mean
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Cool. Joe, what's your pull list, buddy? What are you looking forward to getting? What are you getting
Uh,
out?
a lot like Adam, only because Adam kind of pushed me in this direction when they restarted it. But the Ultimates, I'm doing what is it, Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. I haven't even started reading it yet. I've just been getting
That's just kind of like a offshoot to tie in That's tying in the Ultimate Universe together. That's just like a tie-in book. Sorry.
Oh, okay, okay. And then Ultimate Spider-Man, which I'm having a difficult time getting older issues of that. We may have to talk about that because I started that late. Uh, and then Ultimate Wolverine I haven't started yet, but I am getting those. And then outside of that, I did get Godzilla versus the Marvel Universe. There was like a couple of issues off of those. I'm missing a couple of the later ones, but I got like Godzilla versus Hulk, Godzilla versus Fantastic Four, Godzilla versus
uh,
Spider Man, Godzilla versus the X Men, and I've just been going and just grabbing those when I see them. And then but I am pulling Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe one last time, and I only started that one because I saw book two, and it was like uh, werewolf Captain America
yeah.
versus Daredevil on the cover, and I was like, I don't even know what this is going to be entail, man. But I should probably I want to read this. I'm not even like a real Deadpool guy. I mean, I like Deadpool,
Yeah.
but I'm not like I'm not drooling over any of the stuff. I like the movies; they're good. You know, they're okay. I like them. I like Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think outside of those are the only ones that I think that I'm getting that nobody else really is. My
It,
girlfriend's into she started getting into I Hate Fairyland,
yeah. I
Okay.
know of it.
and I'll kind of like look over her shoulder and get out here chortle, and I'll look over her shoulder and it's funny. There's some funny stuff going on in there, and then when she explains it to me, I'm like, this is fucking wild. Like a little girl gets sucked into fairyland when she's like 7, and she ages like mentally, but physically doesn't. So she's like 30, and a 30-year-old like person and a 7-year-old body stuck in fairyland, and hilarity ensues. But yeah, that's kind of what I've just been digging around on. I haven't found something. I've been trying to like find something that maybe that I can share with you guys outside of the regular stuff, but I
Yeah.
haven't really found the one thing that I did share with you guys that like Cowboys and Movei is getting a comic book run, so I thought I shared that with you. Get ready for October, boys.
October is going to be a good month for comics, for sure. We're going to get into some of that later.
Okay, right on.
Absolutely.
I just wanna. It's not on my pull list, but I am. I did pick up Spider-Man versus Predator, and you want to talk about like a great story with fucking amazing interiors. Pick up Spy. It's pretty cool. And it makes sense. Predator against street level heroes, and then you introduce Craven the Hunter, so the Predator is a hunter, and you introduce a Marvel Universe hunter
Oh
himself.
yeah.
And then I can't think of I'm trying to look up the artist right now. I recently followed him on um Instagram, but the fucking interiors of that comic book blow me away. I fucking recommend Spider-Man versus Predator. It's a short. It's gonna be like six issues or something. It's gonna be a quick one.
Well, I
Nice.
might just go pick those up.
I can't find number one though. Number one's hard to get.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm trying to look at it here. Looks like Marcelo Ferreria. I'm shitty at words right now. I think that may be the artist.
Hold on, I could bring it. I was looking at the wrong Instagram profile.
Yeah. When did that drop? April. It's like internet is awesome. Feels so official, like looking at shit up. We need like I don't know what you would call that, someone to do that for us.
A fucking producer.
We'll get there eventually, right?
pull it up, pull it up.
Pull that shit up.
Yeah, it might be Marcelo Ferreria. It's
That's
fucking
what
gory though too. There's the Predator skins their enemies, and they're fucking showing that in the interiors of a Spider-Man comic book.
cool. I'll see if I can find that one. I like the idea of that. Awesome. Well, on my pull list, I don't really have much. Um, Definitely, absolute Batman, absolute Wonder Woman, and Battle Beast as well. But I have been following a little short, little series from the Gotham City Sirens. It's pretty great.
The covers are always great. I started keeping an eye on them.
Yeah, I love the covers, and I'm probably spending way too much money on comics right now because I'm getting like the variants. I learned about ratio books, which is a whole nother thing with the different covers. So I kind of went a little crazy, but those covers are great, you know. They all kind of like make a scene too when you get all of them. So I'm trying to get all those, but it is wonderful. I mean, I really enjoy it, and it's again, I've been like strangely just nonstop DC right now. And I've been really gravitating more towards like the women of DC and their storylines. Besides Batman right now. But I think they're great, man. The Gotham City Sirens are amazing a group, if you will. It's Catwoman, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn. So there's three very different like personalities and like fighting styles and morals and everything that they all kind of bring to their stories. And I mean, I love Poison Ivy as a character. She is amazing. Um, I think that's really what I'm pulling right now. And then anything that I see, like any one-offs, any covers. So the one I did pull because of the cover was actually Wonder Woman number 20. And I really enjoyed the cover of that one. I do have it here. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. Nope. Kind of. There
Oh,
you go.
for a second.
Let me just get rid of my stupid thing in the back here, and then I'll show it to everyone who can't even see.
Oh,
That's the
that's a nice.
cover.
Yeah, I like
I,
Wow,
this.
that
I
is rad.
really dig the art on that one. You got Batman up there too. You know, Wonder Woman number 20. And I started reading it, and it starts off with her mom basically calling her through a goat. That's how they communicate. Calling her through this goat to tell her that she woke up in her bed next to Ares, the god, dead. So the other gods are going to basically sacrifice or kill Wonder Woman's mom, and she is going to attempt to prove her innocence. And to do that, she enlists the help of Batman because he's the greatest fucking detective
Detective.
ever.
Oh my goodness.
So it is Batman and Wonder Woman currently right now in Olympus talking to the gods and questioning the gods as only Batman and Wonder Woman could. And I haven't even finished this issue and I'm into it. And I think it's already on number 23 or 24. So this is even an issue that had been out for a while, I think. Could be wrong. But yeah, it just surprised the hell out of me. So I'm just gonna read this and then maybe not read any more of the Wonder Woman series, but we'll see.
Yeah, like sometimes you could just, if you get into an arc, just pick up those, 3 or 4 issues of that arc and then move on. If like you have to be really like strict when it comes to your comic book because you'll fucking end up spending way too much money.
Yep, that's the truth. Cool. Well, I think that's gonna conclude the pull list, right? Let's move on. We're gonna talk about Superman movie. Welcome back to Into the Seamenverse podcast. We are setting up with part two of our first episode. We're going to jump right into talking about the newest, hottest movie out right now, Superman. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and say that I freaking fell in love with Superman again with this movie.
Same.
I enjoyed it, but I do have some some some
critiques.
opinions that
Okay.
I would like to get out there, and I need to talk out. So, however you want to start, just let me know. I'm ready to go.
Well, let's start with Superman. David Corn Sweat, I believe is his name. How do we like him as the new Superman?
I kind of saw him as like like a not too different from Christopher Reeves. Like I saw some lo- like some similarities where like if that's the route they're trying to go without trying to do all that reverse engineering shit. I thought he looked the part.
I thought he looked good. I thought he looked good. I think a lot of us are, still kind of butthurt over the Henry Cavill thing, but you know, um, I mean, I wish it still was Henry Cavill, but I thought Superman looked pretty good. Looked pretty good. He had nice hair, you know, good looks. You know, all American boy, all American man.
Superman. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm over Henry Cavill now as Superman with this guy, dude. I think that he is like the Superman that like Adam said, man, he's classic Superman. He's just a wants to do good. Whereas you look at like Henry Cavill, like Superman, and he's like, I mean, he does obviously want to do good, but he's almost
Like
like scary.
aggressive, like
Yeah, like I'm
yeah,
Superman, motherfucker. What?
yeah.
You know, this dude's like, hey man, I might be Superman. I might help you. Like, like I don't know. But it just felt like a 180 from the style of Superman that we
Yeah.
got with Henry Cavill. So yeah, man, I'm sad to see Henry Cavill go. I think he did make a great Superman, but I think this dude is taking over, at least for me.
I think that opens up. I want to get back to Superman. I don't want to be a fucking Henry Cavill fan fest, but I think that opens up Henry Cavill to be like a really cool character in the Marvel universe now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Who that is, I'm not sure at the moment.
open
yeah, I
to the
mean,
idea.
you know, Henry Cavill fans unite. Um,
Let us
what'd you
know.
think of what'd you think of his new suit?
Cool. I enjoyed it. I like that the red trunks are on the outside of the suit. I mean, you had to do it at some point. Little fan service, and I thought for it didn't look too like rubbery to me,
Yeah.
so
Hmm.
that's another good thing. I enjoyed it. The maybe not the biggest fan of the S,
Okay. The new
Of the
S.
S.
Yeah,
the S on the chest.
it's a little different. I can see what you're saying there,
I kind of like the S to be a little bit more bolder.
yeah.
But I'm also like I'm a huge Frank Miller bat symbol, so like the symbol that was on Affleck's Batman, like I like big, bold, fat symbols, I guess, on my superheroes.
You gotta tell who it is. I think it did
Yeah,
work too with the overall feel like of the movie, right? Like it felt like a comic book. It felt like it was in another universe,
Yeah.
right? It didn't feel like it was like it had to be Earth. Like everyone was kind of accepting of it, of all the superheroes or the metahumans that were happening. It didn't seem like anyone was shocked by anything that was happening in that movie.
Well, they laid it out like right at the beginning. They said that metahumans have been around for 300 years. So like at this point, what was 300 years ago? 1700s or something?
Yeah, pretty close, 18 roughly. But yeah,
I mean, well, this isn't a math fucking show, folks.
we don't
But
Talking comic books here.
so yeah, so like humans are used to metahumans, so like yeah, it took a lot away of that. You don't have to explain much.
Yeah, and little side note on the beginning, the opening of that movie where they, brought out all that information. In my research, because I'm smart like that, my research for this podcast, I did find out that David Corenswet was a massive Star Wars fan, and he told the director, well, James Gunn, he's like, man, we should have this kind of like Star Wars feel. So they put that in the beginning of the movie to kind of mimic like a little bit of like Star Wars.
Mm.
Um, a little bit of fun, probably a fact. Cool. Well, I mean, we can like suck this movie's dick all day, but I want to hear kind of what Adam what's your take on the movie, man? What is your what do you got to talk about?
So I went into this movie. Okay, I'll start at the beginning. So FX had like a Guardians of the Galaxy marathon where they played like all three Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna over the course of the week before going to the movie, I'm just gonna rewatch James Gunn's take on the Guardians of the Galaxy just to familiarize with James Gunn's style and and as a preview into what maybe Superman is going to entail. And I noticed that James Gunn is really good, even with his Suicide Squad movie. He's good at taking like a bunch of people, making you fall in love with like a ragtag group of people. And then I also noticed that in all of his movies, he always makes you fall in love with the characters, and then he kills one of them for like that emotional fucking heart pull. And I was like, oh fuck. So I was like, I'm gonna go into Superman. I'm gonna fall in love with everybody, and then he's gonna fucking kill me at some point. And so, all right. So I went into this movie, and then I found myself hard to make the switch from the Zack Snyder universe. And that was definitely affecting my viewing of this version of Superman, where I was just so ingrained in like that ultra violent, ultra gritty, dark tones, surrealism. And I was like, it was throwing me off. I have to admit, it was throwing me off a bit.
Yeah, it's much different. Like I said, I think it was
Yeah.
180 from what I
I
can feel.
personally enjoyed the lighter touch on the DC universe.
Yeah.
I think that unfortunately you have to make movies for everybody.
Yeah.
You can't make movies for
Yourself.
for me. Like obviously I like the gritty, ultra violent, stuff like that. Like you can be ultra violent and still, put asses in seats.
Yeah.
Uh, Justice League I liked Justice League. I like the Snyderverse cut a whole lot more. Um, but I enjoyed it being more fun and more light. However, if whenever it happens, I'm interested to see how Batman plays into, because I mean, like all the Batman movies are kind of gritty.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
I mean, the '80s, they all have a gritty, feel to them. I mean, the Penguin, uh, Danny DeVito's Penguin is a scary creature. How is he going to be able to do this Batman? Or maybe I don't know. Maybe he could just still keep him as like a brooding, solitude dude. One word says, and just put him in the movie like that. Everyone else is having a good time, and then he's like, like that's the joke that he's way too serious all the time.
yeah.
Because they have to do something. But I'm interested in seeing that. And also, with that being said, just give James Gunn all the money to do all of this shit. Just like don't even if you are an executive wherever and and you're listening to this podcast and you're like I want to know what the people think. If you're even thinking about like having like some like little side projects that James Gunn's not involved in the
Don't
same
do it,
DC
yeah.
universe, don't fucking do it.
Just
Just
give
don't
him,
do it.
yeah, just give him final approval.
Give James Gunn, tell James Gunn, like, hey, here's a movie we want to do. Here's a movie idea. Why don't you hire somebody that you think can do this with it, that you would really willing to put your name on as well, and then you get whoever if it's not handpicked by James Gunn, then it needs to stop. Like you have to. I mean, geez, look what like the Guardians of the Galaxy. Look what he did with that thing. Who here has ever read a Guardians of the Galaxy comic book?
Still
Who was even interested in Rocket Raccoon or a fucking Groot?
nobody.
As soon as I
Nope.
saw the first preview for that movie, I was like, this thing looks fucking dope. I like Chris Pratt. He's got these fucking like he's looking good. I knew him from when he was Andy in the on Parks and Rec, fat bumbling Andy, and he
Yeah.
comes in, he's looking fucking shredded, dude.
What
And
what
I was like, this movie's gonna be fucking sick. And then I saw it in the theaters, and I got out of there, and I felt just like I did after I got out of Superman. Like I just saw a really cool movie that hit all my sweet spots.
what I do appreciate what James Gunn did is that he just didn't copy the same formula as Guardians of the Galaxy and then Suicide Squad. He is definitely a James Gunn movie, but he didn't just say, "Oh, I'm just gonna take what I did in this movie and put it over here." It's a unique movie. Even like you're expecting, like he knows he incorporate the way he incorporates his music in Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad. He did not do it the same in Superman, which I told like those little details about a James Gunn film isn't carbon copied onto Superman, which I really respect and enjoyed.
Yeah, yeah, it's a valid point, Like you still could tell it was James Gunn, but it was not Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
which I will say are my favorite Marvel movies too. Like
Oh,
I
the,
don't
the,
think
the first Guardians of the Galaxy is it's number 2 or 3.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, for sure.
I'll still rewatch all of them.
Oh, dude, I whenever I get bored, dude, it happens like once a month. I put on a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I go on Disney Plus, pop one on, just because I like the music,
Yeah.
man. I like the action scenes are good and they're plentiful, and then the in between scenes are funny. I, I'm easy to please, dude. Just give me brain candy.
Do you wanna hear where I feel James Gunn failed me on Superman?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
He made me hate fucking dogs.
Oh
Mm.
no.
I fucking was so annoyed with both of those dogs he featured, and I was like, I won't be mad if they get crushed right now.
I,
I think
I
he
I
had the
kind of
opposite effect of what he intended with me. I found those dogs like there's a giant monster. Get the fuck out of here! What you know?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting he left that and also the squirrel in the movie. So like Superman was,
Yeah,
which was part of why I loved it too, because he genuinely wants to like save and do the right thing and be the best person he can be, right?
that interview with Lois Lane I thought was fucking fantastic dialogue.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
I think the interview with Peacemaker was fantastic dialogue. Dude, when they showed him on that TV, I about popped. I marked out in the movie theater. The whole place
That,
is just like, shut the. Who is this guy talking about?
that
Nah,
was a good
it's
cameo. I enjoyed that for sure.
they're all just jealous
Well,
of my body. Cena's got that. Peacemaker's got that physique, dude.
How do you guys feel like there's like no setup for like big events? I feel like they could have been like their own, like they could like two specific events could have been like done like in Superman 2 and Superman 3. That's Lex accessing his secret hideout like right away, and then Lex also cloning Superman right away. Like this happens in the first movie where, traditionally this would be in Superman 2 and
Oh,
yeah,
2 standalone movies.
yeah.
yeah. It was definitely, yeah, there was a lot that kind of happened. And you had a lot of also supporting characters too.
Yeah.
Like the Justice Gang, right? I mean, Guy Gardner, like that was pretty amazing seeing
Does
him.
anybody hate Nathan Fillion?
I
I
don't
mean,
think
any
so.
group of people. Like, can you think of like a group of people that's like, nah, Nathan Fillion's not for me.
I don't think so.
I mean, dude, there's a lot of guys I shit on, but there's like, there's a small group of people that I think that everybody can that universally loves. Steve Irwin, Weird Al Yankovic,
Carl
and
Urban.
but Nathan Fillion has done like nothing wrong to anybody. Like, dude, I think he's fantastic. I love everything that dude's been in.
Yeah.
and then and for him to get this role, James Gunn took care of him, dude.
Huge
He
role
did
too. It's not no like
huge.
throwaway
Yeah.
Yeah,
character.
this isn't the guy that gets shot in the space pod thingy or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
this is a real character with real powers doing real main storyline shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, James Gunn hooked Nathan Fillion up, dude.
Well, I think Nathan Fillion's been in every James Gunn
I think
movie,
so too.
every
Yeah,
superhero movie for
I'm
sure.
pretty sure.
Like he's been some sort of character. And yeah, for him to get like Guy Gardner and to play him to like a T, I think from what like he's represented as in the comic books,
Yeah.
was great. I was not really a fan of Hawk Girl, to be fair. She didn't really do much. Um,
I don't really
but
like the screaming. I don't really understand what was happening. I don't really know what Hot Girl. I just remember seeing her in like the old cartoon from like the '60s or '70s,
Yeah.
Justice League versus the uh, Doom Patrol or whatever the fuck it was. I don't even, the Hall
yeah,
of
I mean,
Doom.
she kind of has a cool story with Hawkman, or I think yeah, Hawkman, Hawkwoman. I don't know. Clearly, I don't follow them.
They're
Um,
reincarnated like Egyptian. Is it Egyptian or
That
I
makes
think they
sense.
are. They're Egyptian like lovers, and they're constantly reincarnated, and they're yeah, they fight evil. Like, their whole purpose is to find each other, and then but then they die, and then they have to do it again all over again. And then of course, Mr. Terrific,
fucking killed it, man.
dude. I think he stole all the rest of the side heroes like Thunder. Everyone like applauded him. I feel like in the theater, everyone loved him. Great redemption for another actor who kind of got screwed over as a superhero. Um,
He was in
yeah, I
the
think it
X
was
Men movie, right?
yeah, X-Men, the Days of Future
Oh,
Days of
Past, I
Future
believe.
Past.
Darwin.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Darwin.
Darwin.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, I do. I remember watching that movie being like, that dude has awesome powers, and then they just fucking roasted his ass like first thing, like didn't even
yeah.
get to throw a punch or something. I'm like, you're effing kidding me. I was so disappointed when that happened.
Yeah,
But
but I mean,
I didn't realize that was the same guy until now that you're saying. I'm like, because I mean that movie was 20 years ago,
yeah, it's such a. I
15 years
mean,
ago.
watching it again, I had to rewatch the scene. I mean, he looks like a child.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely a way
Itty bitty
younger.
skinny guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Um,
he killed it in that movie.
yeah. Mr. Terrific was amazing. And I think even I saw the movie with my wife. I think she like kind of was like, what is this dude gonna do? You know? And two, I think everyone at the camp that he was at when he totally decimated everyone, and then he just broke out with all of his T spheres, I think is what he calls them, right?
Yeah,
Don't want to mispronounce those. And just murked everyone essentially, man. And he's like a super genius. I mean, he was I big fan of Mr. Terrific right now.
yeah. I wasn't expecting that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I liked the entire Justice Gang. I like the name of it. I thought that was pretty hilarious, and then the running gag on it too.
Hmm.
That's how we're called. Guy Gardner putting his foot down.
Yep. And
Should we be the Seamen gang?
Might get your flag.
all right, so
What do you guys think of
continuing.
the guy? I'm sorry. What did you think of Lex Luthor, the actor? What's his name? David Houth, something like that. Is that
No,
his
it's
name?
Nicholas Holt.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, I can't pronounce his last name.
Dude, I've been a fan. It had to been when I was stationed in Cuba. I got a hold of his show called Skins. It's a like a UK show,
Yeah,
coming of age, and I've been a fan of him ever since then. Everything he puts out bangers. He was in Mad Max Fury Road. He was,
yeah,
he was Beast in X Men, I think. Yeah, yep.
yeah.
I'm just a big fan of his, and I thought his portrayal of Lex. I'm trying to like, I don't know what my image of Lex Luthor. I think Michael Rosenbaum is my favorite Lex Luthor from Smallville. So
Oh yeah.
that's my Lex comparison. So I think that's my favorite Lex. So I keep comparing every subsequent Lex to him, and nobody reaches that. So I kind of have to like switch. You have to do a lot of switching with these movies. You switch your mind frame, and I was able to do that with his version of Lex Luthor because his motivation is that he just hates Superman because he's an alien essentially, and I think that's the best representation of that out.
Yeah. So, again, my wife and I, we talked about the movie a lot, and talking about Lex, we felt like he was a lot different from the other like interpretations of Lex Luthor because the other ones like Lex seemed to be a little bit more like suave, a little bit more like held together,
He was
seemed like
motivated by
cool.
he was motivated by power. Where sorry to cut you off. I feel like the
Yeah,
other Lexes were motivated by power, where this Lex is motivated by hatred.
yeah, and
And
that
through the
kind of
hatred, through
tracks.
the hatred, he'll accumulate. He accumulates power so he could dispose of his hatred. Whereas I feel like the other Lexes, he was motivated by power in order to, and then Superman was just a obstacle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does because this Lex seemed very like manic about everything. Like he was just like crazy about it, and he didn't seem as like cool as like a billionaire, like trillionaire Lex Luthor, like he has been like portrayed. Not that I didn't like it, because I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like I really enjoyed every part of this movie. Like I don't, if when I do rewatch it and when it does come out on streaming, like I don't think there's any part that I would fast forward through or like not really care about watching again. Um, that whole movie, I think, to me just was a great, great ride, 100%. And I can't wait for more DC movies to come out. I am very stoked for all of them now. Bro, RIP Marvel, man, because they ain't gonna be able to contend with this shit.
I
Not if they're
mean,
going to be able to.
we gotta. Well, they had like a 10 to 15 year run of bangers.
Someone else's turn, you saying?
No, I think the future. Well, we'll hopefully we might get into it, but like I think Fantastic Four is like a lot's riding on it, but we
Yeah.
can get into that.
Yeah,
Um, Pocket Universe Prison, dude. That was kind of cool.
It's similar to a Peacemaker's
But
dad's.
his dad, yeah, Pocket Universe
yeah,
Laboratory. Yeah, very
yep.
very cool stuff, man. I like that. And, okay, so should I? What was that? The dude that was in the cell with Superman. Who is that? Is that someone I should know?
Elemental Man.
Is
Is
that what
is
his
it?
name is?
I think so.
I
I
think that's
mean,
what they called him.
again,
I think that's what they might have called him in the movie, but I didn't know what if that's like I've never heard of him as a character.
Yeah, he could just change his molecular structure into any.
Is a good guy.
I don't know.
Well, he joined the Justice Gang, or well,
Yeah,
once he said it was a cool name, then Guy Gardner let him in.
I think he's Metamorpho.
Metamorpho. That sounds.
Yeah,
Is he
yeah.
Metamorpho the Element Man?
No, just Metamorpho.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know much about him.
okay.
Yeah, but I mean, it is essentially like they portrayed it in the movie. It looks like because he can just change his body into any kind of chemical elements that he wants to. So it looks like he was exposed to the orb of Ra. So something,
Sounds like a hot guy and girl villain or ally or whatever
Yeah,
character.
seems like he's a good guy.
Okay.
Yeah, good guy. But yeah, I thought he was cool. I thought that whole like, because Superman is essentially like a god, right? I mean, this is he can pretty much is indestructible. Um, like
Oh,
there had to obviously be a way to kind of beat him, and I think they did a clever way of doing that without like having like kryptonite because they even said, right, like there's no more kryptonite on the planet.
yeah, that's cool that they really, really good exposition without making it feel like exposition.
Yeah.
We had to talk about like he completely changed his parents' motivation for sending him to Earth. Like, what did you guys think about that? That they sent him to Earth to rule and not to be a hero.
I mean, I
I mean,
instantly thought Invincible, like, like with
Yeah,
the Ultramites and stuff. I was like, oh, this kind of is like the same thing, Not that they stole it from them. Because I think there is like a Superman arc where that is like the case,
yeah.
or some sort of storyline. But no, I thought it was cool, man. And like everyone instantly turning on him. Like they didn't even hear him out, and they're just like, oh, he's here to rule us. Like,
Well,
fuck
that
this.
is super scary.
Yeah.
He is basically a god.
yeah, the only way I mean, if there's no kryptonite, how else are you going to beat Superman? Um, destroy his reputation, make everyone hate him, and then he'll just, probably never show up again, which is, you know, is kind of what Lex wants anyway.
Yeah.
Fuck off, dude. Get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to do some nefarious shit, and I got you over here sticking your nose in it. You
Get
know,
out of here.
uh, I figure if the planet's dying or whatever, and you're like, there's a lesser planet over there that have similar style of bodies and stuff. You know, go forth, my child. Take as many concubines as you need. That's just survival, brother. Nothing personal. Sorry. And it wasn't like he was going to kill everybody. He's going to, come here and be like, I am better than everybody else. Send me your finest breeding stock.
What?
Send me your volleyball players. Uh, I don't know, a bunch of just Russian like old women show up. Like they're very stout. Ugh. But yeah, so I totally kind of understand where Superman's family's coming from. I do have a complaint. People from Kansas don't act like that.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% positive.
I've
Like,
known you
why
for.
do we have this like Southern like slow like that's just Paul like no they don't. That is, I mean, I don't know when they plucked these, what century they plucked this mom and pop kid from, but it's from 2025, maybe 1825. They were the first settlers, but they made them like the most. I don't know. I was cracking up. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So that's a very poor representation of a mother and father of a 25-year-old in Kansas.
Y'all don't live on farms and
We don't fucking talk like that. Like a bunch of fucking Southern yokels. I don't know what that was. That was we're from the Midwest. All right.
Instantly thought of you when I
oh
saw
yeah.
it.
Look at this
Same.
piece of shit.
Like we're gonna see Joe walk by in this like case of natty lights and
Overalls and Crocs,
yeah.
No shirt underneath it.
no shirt on.
Oh yeah. Not,
Well,
not real parents.
we all pretty much love Superman movie. We did not start off by saying spoiler alert, so sorry about that, but
Nope.
just assume there's spoilers in this podcast.
I'll write
From
it in the
on.
title of the episode.
Thanks.
Spoiler. Spoilers. Heavy
Spoiler
spoilers.
alert.
We'll make like a soundbite for some like in the future for it or something. Um All right, well, I think it's time to move on to our next topic. It's going to be our comms check. Comms check is going to be where we talk about our comic book news, any kind of projects that are coming out, new drops we're excited for that we haven't checked out. And then we're going to talk a little bit about maybe some personal takes on existing titles, something we've read in the past. Um, and then after that, we're going to go on to our recommendations. So let's start with comms check. We did have some topics that we had kicked around. I want to start with one that I'm really interested in that I wasn't aware of, but DCKO. Adam, you want to talk a little bit about that? Like, you're the one who knows the most, I imagine.
Yeah, so I don't know if how aware of the absolute universe came about, but essentially the mainstream Darkseid accumulated all this power and he essentially created the absolute universe. Well, back in the mainstream, the heroes are trying to stop that, stop once again Darkseid's authority. So they figured that the only way to stop Darkseid this time is they have to accumulate what they call this omega energy into one single person to battle Darkseid, and they're gonna do that through bracket style fighting tournament. 36 brackets. Every hero is gonna fight each other in the 36 bracket to see who is gonna accumulate all the omega energy and become the King Omega. And so I don't know much. That's pretty much all I know about it. But I figure if you guys are into the battle beast, just fighting for the ultimate position, I think this event is gonna be pretty interesting. Um, I think it's gonna be fun for us when we see the bracket lineup and see who's battling who. I think it's gonna be make for fun engagements. Like, oh, I think so and so is gonna be so and so, and this is like, remember when we were kids and we're like, hey, who will win in a fight? Type questions. I think it's super. I'm excited for it. Um, the only thing, like, I kind of don't want Superman or Batman to win. I think that's
Too
gonna be
easy.
boring. Those guys are always the heroes in the end.
When is this supposed to start?
October.
October. I'm taking notes, man.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I don't miss out on.
Yeah, I think it drops October 8th. It is written also by Scott Snyder, sorry. So I'm really stoked for it. We obviously are fans of what he's writing now. And yeah, man, like Adam said, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a fun series to check out. It's gonna go over a couple of different titles, I believe. Um, so we'll probably have to figure out like a reading list for that, but I'm super stoked for it. And it's kind of like a new thing that as a newer comic collector, revitalized comic collector, like it's a story that I get to be a part of from the beginning, you
Yeah.
know?
I think the covers, there's gonna be some sick covers when we get the bracket list out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I see Jim Lee is going to be on there, Frank Cho, I mean Jay Lee. I mean it's going to be pretty great.
It's gonna be
Uh,
rough to pick and choose which covers to get.
yeah, the bracket variant cover by Dan Mora. I mean, I'm super stoked for this. So yeah, DCKO. Look forward to it in October. Um, let's keep it moving. Um, you all are very much into the Ultimate Universe, right? Ultimate Spider-Man. Let's talk about the eventual end of the Ultimate Universe, right? It's apparently coming a little bit quicker than people are have anticipated, right?
Yeah. So, are you guys reading the Ultimates?
I am. I haven't read number 13.
So
3.0.
yeah, so the makers is essentially, it's inevitable that he's kind of trapped in Latveria or somewhere out there, and they know there's a hard deadline of when he's gonna break out of his imprisonment, and
Yeah.
so that's what all these stories are leading up. Iron Lad, um, sent these superpower orbs back in time to the original horse. That's how they're getting their powers because they're all prepping for this eventual showdown with the Maker. And so a lot of people are there's speculation that this might be the end of this Ultimate Universe, which is super quick, even though it's super popular. So I'm sad because I've been enjoying this universe for the reasons we've been stating in the podcast. Because it's like a new introduction to our favorite characters without having to worry about years and years of history. And I've been having an absolute blast reading it. So I'm kind of hoping that this is just the the end of this big, huge culmination of stories to face the Maker, and then after this event, they'll continue the ultimate storyline with the next baddie, you know. But there's also speculation that this wasn't scheduled to be a ongoing series in the first place. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's kind of what I read as well, like doing research for the podcast because I've only been kind of keeping up with Ultimate Spider-Man. But I came across info that they have only planned each run of the Ultimates series as 24 issues.
Yeah,
So at the end of 24, they're done.
that sucks.
And that's each one. And they'd mentioned X-Men's going to be coming soon, or it has started. Um, and based on the timeline, they're going to be the last issue or the last like series of Ultimates going on. So it is it's kind of surprising that it's ending so early or potentially ending so early, which again, like Adam said, it's what the storyline's leading to.
I don't. I wonder
I
like how. I wonder if they're surprised about the popularity of this version of the Ultimate Universe is because sometimes they're just throwing stories out there just to have more books out on the shelves, but like they really had something going with these series. I heard the Black Panther series was really good itself. I'm not a Black Panther guy, so I didn't pick it up, but I heard. I'm just curious about if there's any surprise about how popular this universe is.
I just found out a couple of minutes ago that there wasn't going to be an ongoing thing.
You
So
look like it.
I'm kind of upsetting because I thought I don't know, man. I felt like I was into something, something that
You're gonna be able to tell your
lord
grandkids,
over all everybody else with.
right?
But now that really fucked me, man. They'll be like, yeah, dude, this guy really thought that fucking Iron Lad was taking over. What a fucking idiot. Well, shit, man. That ruined my fucking Thursday. Spoiler
Yeah.
alert. I don't really read the news and stuff on this stuff. I just kind of, buy and read. And so I guess if I would have been like waiting for issue 25,
You're like, what the fuck?
dude, I've been waiting for like 3 years.
3
You guys
years.
see this shit, dude? I've been Googling it, and everyone's just like, I've been putting it on Reddit, and everyone's just calling me an idiot. Like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, maybe it won't end, but I'll be looking forward to the future episodes and hearing your guys' take on how that's going. Um, moving on to our next comms check topic here. Joe did mention it, but Peacemaker season 2. Joe, you take this one, man. What do you think is going on with Peacemaker?
Well, I did see that Rick Flag Sr.'s in this one, and he's probably super pissed off about Rick Flag being Jr. being killed by Peacemaker in Suicide Squad 2.
Yep.
So that I don't know. I don't know how that's really gonna work out, but you guys didn't watch Creature Commandos,
No,
and that had
Rick Flag scene.
Rick Flag Sr. in it as the leader of the Creature Commandos, which I highly recommend. Entire soundtrack is Go Go Bordello. Just awesome stuff the whole time. It's fantastic. Did you watch it, Drew?
I've started it. I haven't finished it yet, but
Okay,
yeah.
but as far as Peacemaker goes, I haven't I don't I guess I don't read this stuff. I like to be surprised like in the moment, especially when it's something I'm like actually interested in and I don't want to know anything about it. So I don't. I've only seen that. I've seen the same trailers that you guys seen. I did see Tim Meadows is in it, who is one of my favorite little comedian dudes out there that plays random
Oh yeah,
roles. I like him a lot. Vigilante, welcome back. That that dude's great.
good
So
character.
I'm really looking forward to this more than probably anything else that has come out in the last 6 months or something. And that includes, I mean, Andor was good. Star Wars is good. Don't get me wrong, man, but I like Peacemaker so much. I've watched it that since the first season came out. I've probably watched it like 5 or 6 times.
Nice.
It's
Yeah,
it's it's fucking hilarious.
it's
It
so good.
is it is it is outstanding. It's funny and it's over the top violent. Yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that a whole lot.
Yeah, I've been dying for it to come out, man. Like, and when I saw that it was coming back and the trailers, especially after watching them, I can't wait. I'm very excited for it.
And then teasing that, putting that spoiler in there on Superman, putting that in there. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, fine, yep, this I can't wait. August, I mean, it's just what is it, a month away? The show's gonna start. So
Yeah.
It's gonna be here before you know it.
yeah,
And
something to watch.
yep, tying it all in together too. And it's gonna be I think it'll be the third actual content that's gonna be like officially part of James Gunn's like DC universe.
Yeah.
Because Creature Commandos is the first thing that's like James Gunn canon universe. Then we have Superman,
Superman and
and then Peacemaker's gonna be the next. So
Um,
it's gonna have to tie in a little bit of the old with the new. So there is talks of it multiverse happening. So
I think his dad's pocket universe is gonna play some factor and like my theory is like he's gonna be transported through his dad's pocket universe into James Gunn's universe where things are kind of the same but there's some
yeah,
things different.
yeah,
okay,
maybe he
okay.
takes over as Peacemaker in that universe or something.
Yeah.
If we can go back to one segment we talked about that DCKO, the news thing coming out, Adam, and I just wanted to write this down because I lost the text message. You said something else was coming out in a text message a couple weeks ago. Maybe is it Kirkman maybe putting something out that
Oh, skin something skin, but yeah.
damn it, I wish you would remember
Oh
what that
yeah, I
was.
know what you're talking about. The shoot. I'll find it.
I could look it up right now.
I wanted to write that down in my notes here so that I can make sure that I get this subscription started on that because I'd like to be on the ground floor.
Skin breaker.
Skin Breaker. When's that coming out?
I think October too, as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that coming out too.
And the good thing about being 40 years old with no kids is that anytime you guys want me to just read something from the beginning, I probably can afford to do it. Like
Right.
spending money on being 40 years old and having a decent job with no real responsibilities.
But yeah, like everybody's really on that. You know, it's Kirkman. He did Invincible, and Walking Dead, but they're really like hyped up that David Finch, the artist, is working with them. So like, I don't have a file on David Finch, but I'll be scooping that up.
Yeah, that's definitely one I'll be looking forward to also. We'll have to break that one down on a future episode. All right, so you did mention Star Wars, I think, and Adam had some topics on Star Wars, right? Age of Rebellion, is that correct?
No, that's a ex Marvel Age of
Oh,
Revelation.
oh. Well, scratch that fucking part. Age of Revelation.
Revelation.
All right, tell us about Age of Revelation.
I don't have too much. It's just Marvel's counterpunch to DC KO's event, so they're gonna be going on at the same time. But it seems like typical Marvel cookie cutter. It's 10 years into the future. It's kind of like a if I don't know if you guys remember from the '90s, the Age of Apocalypse
Yeah,
event. So it's kind of like a sequel to that, where Apocalypse's heir takes the moniker Revelation, and he creates this mutant utopia, or he's calling it a mutant utopia, and there's just gonna be a bunch of series of books of trying to take him down. It seems very cookie cutter. It seems boring, honestly, and I'm not looking forward to it at all. But it's a major event that's coming up in the future that I felt that we needed to bring up.
yeah. I think more ammo to say like DC is kind of taking over and kind of putting
Maybe,
Marvel to
yeah.
bed.
That's a weird thought to think.
Yeah, it is. I mean, again, I've always been a
Yeah, same.
Marvel Image guy too, Image for sure. And never given any shits about DC. And now here I am, like, you know, DC guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on, let's talk about some Marvel. Um, we did bring it up, Fantastic Four movie. Marvel's redemption song, or is this gonna fall short too? What do you think?
Oh man, they have to nail this movie.
Have to.
Not only because they've been on like a serious lull, especially with the Kang stuff falling through, but next to Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four might be Marvel's most important comic book characters.
First family.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
all the best like events that have happened have revolved around Reed Richards, the maker, and even their son Franklin Richards. Like I have pretty high hopes for this movie. It looks really good, and I think I think it's gonna do. They got like awesome actors lined up for all the roles. Galactus, and not like a shadow Galactus is gonna be in there. I think it's like the actual
yeah.
Galactus. They got they went a different route with the Silver Surfer, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, cosmic entity. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like, you could be a giant flying penis. You
That
know,
would be a little interesting.
but
But yeah, I agree.
I think yeah, it's super important that they nail this and then they knock it out of the park because I mean, what's up next is depending on how this movie does. Like Secret Wars is coming up, and all the other like all that stuff is in the comic books was fucking amazing uh, events, and it was written really well. And so like, I hope they do a good job with this movie. I don't know. What do you guys think?
if if it fails, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what's next in the pipeline. What could possibly be the next? I mean, the shows that they've had. Moon Knight was okay. I thought Moon Knight was okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely good.
You know, but I mean, yeah, you got to do something because I'll tell you what, Black Panther starring Shuri doesn't do it for me. Black Panther starring Manape, that does it for me. Give that dude a fucking movie as Black Panther. M'Baku, was that his name?
In the movie, yeah, in Baku.
Yeah, give him a run. But do they have to do something to? I watch it. And I have high hopes, and I know that every time I have high hopes, something bad happens. I went into Superman with low expectations. I shouldn't have because of James Gunn. Matter of fact, yeah, it's Fantastic Four. Is it by? Maybe they should have got Jim Gunn to do it.
Jim Pistol.
Jim Pistol. That's what he works under. He gets two contracts. Hardest working man in showbiz. Jim Pistol. Yeah, they should have fucking figured something out, dude. I don't know, man. If it's bad, if it doesn't do it, then the rest of the shit down the pipe is just gonna be shit. Don't take
Yeah.
chances. Just to give the people what they want. Do not be
Yeah.
douches about this. You're trying to buck the system with the female Silver Surfer. I'm giving it to you. The rest of the shit, leave it alone. And I do kind of like what's his face, Reed Richards actor.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I mean, I would have rather had been Jim from The Office, but I'll let.
He's
Yeah.
in fucking everything now, but
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of fatigue, to be honest.
his shit is still good though.
But I have no real beef with him
No.
yet. I didn't have beef with The Rock either. It took a couple of years, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
at least Pedro Pascal's a good actor. Like
Right.
he's different characters in his movies. So I give him that.
I do have
Um,
beef with him about bitching about the fucking Mandalorian helmet or whatever.
Uh,
yeah.
You
Well,
keep it
whatever.
on, nerd. That's
Yeah,
the rules.
that's what you're doing. Deal with it.
Sorry. Yeah, but I have the same beef, and I brought it up 1,000 times when characters take their shit off, just so they can get the face time. Spider-Man, keep the fucking mask on, Andrew Garfield.
Judge Dredd.
Dredd never
uh,
took that son of a bitch off. He followed the rules.
Yeah.
yeah.
They broke the rules so the girl can have her face out because messing up the mind control or whatever. Like, no, keep the friggin' it pisses. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a tangent, but if you're gonna
Yeah,
take the
keep it
role,
accurate.
understand what's happening.
Yeah. And I think it's cool too, the Fantastic Four movie. I believe they've confirmed that they're the only like superheroes right now in this current timeline. In their world, I guess is as you will.
Yeah.
I do love the set design that they have for that movie. It looks fantastic. It looks
Yeah,
fantastic, right? Not intentional. But just the overall feel that they gave with this, it feels like the Jetsons almost, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
got that. It's got that weird like 50s style futuristic kind of 70s style futuristic look. We didn't actually get to that level in society, but it's got that look to it. Yeah, I like it.
It's good. Like a lot of Fallout, a lot of like a Fallout Jetsons, like
Hmm. Yeah, and, are they gonna have to tie in Fantastic Four with current Marvel? Like, how do you think that they're gonna do that, or are they gonna keep this kind of like its own thing?
no, shoot, I don't know how deep you want to get into it, but if you guys read the 2015 run of Secret Wars, it's kind of like a dark Doctor Doom. He basically he gets the powers of like a quick rundown is Doctor Doom gets like the powers of like a celestial, and then he uses Molecule Man and he starts destroying universes, and then people escape into his main universe. So I think that's the storyline they're going with, where Doctor Doom is gonna get uh these godlike powers, and Doctor Strange has already introduced the incursion events where universes are being pulled together. So I think that's the storyline is where all these heroes are gonna get together from different universes to fight Doctor Doom.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's definitely where it
And
is.
it's been confirmed recently that they're rebooting the Marvel universe. So Iron Man's getting rebooted, and the X-Men are gonna get rebooted after Secret Wars, which I think is the right move.
Yeah, they've gone too obscure, I think, with characters. I think they need to stick with like the heavy hitters.
My thoughts is that, like, I don't want to see um Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man into his 60s and 70s. Like, in the comics, keep him the same, but in the cinematic universe, yeah, fucking reboot it every 20 years and get fresh actors
Yeah, I'm
every
okay
couple of
with that.
years through a cosmic event where the universe has to be remade. Like, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Well, there's definitely high hopes for the Fantastic Four movie. I'm looking forward to it. I am worried though. I mean, Marvel has not done much again for me. typically or specifically. I have not seen Thunderbolts though, but again, I don't know there's like Joe, you kind of touched on it. There's so much like TV stuff for Marvel that
Yeah.
you have to watch it in order to watch these
I have
movies.
seen every bit of the TV, the Disney Plus shows. Not the. I haven't watched the new Daredevil, and I also have not watched the new Iron Heart.
Yeah.
But I've seen every single other one. I've sat through garbage TV shows to get the one Easter egg at the end of the
Yeah.
season. Like that just kind of let you know, like what's happening. Yeah, or just I've done it, man. I've sat through them all of them.
It's
Yeah,
annoying at this point.
I can't.
It's dude. It took me like a year to finish Miss Marvel. Uh, just because it was almost like a little kid's show. But she's a kid. She's like a 13-year-old kid. I'm here as a 40-year-old man trying to judge a show that's, the star of the show's 13 or 15 or whatever. Like that's not fair. But understand that. I mean, like, it's just some of it's just a fucking slog, dude. She-Hulk just wasn't very good, and I like the chick that played She-Hulk. I like the other actors and stuff in there, but it was just, ugh, ugh. Hawkeye, not bad. I mean, not great, but I like Vincent D'Onofrio, so you know.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Sonic the Hedgehog for Jim Carrey.
Yeah, but there's just so much to go through, so you can keep up with with these movies and shit. And ugh.
Yeah, I mean, I have not been enjoying
Like
both.
if you watched was it Deadpool and Wolverine, and then and hadn't seen Loki, you're
Yeah,
probably like,
right.
what the fuck is happening? Who are these TVA? What is this? Why are they jumping through holes in the wall? Like what's happening in this? Like, why is everybody jumping through universes and hitting people with like sticks that yeah, you just would have no fucking idea what's
Or
happening.
I just want to say, quick sidebar for whoever's listening. Joe and I absolutely despise The Rock, and
Uh,
Ryan Reynolds is starting to reach that level.
Oh,
yeah,
oh, yeah.
Like I'm starting to get like I don't want to
fatigue.
see Ryan Reynolds in anything anymore.
I'm tired of it.
Is the same character like was Deadpool in Waiting? Was he a waiter
I think he
before he
was.
became Deadpool?
Yeah,
Did he also stay in college way too long?
Right?
Yeah, I liked his shtick early. Then I got Ryan Reynolds fatigue, and I didn't like it. Then Ryan Reynolds became like aware,
Yeah.
and I felt that's when I started to like Ryan Reynolds again. And then now he's like aware
He's
and
uber aware.
super aware and leans into the fact like now it's like, okay, you fucker, like
Yeah.
you cut the shit, and he's I hate to use these words, but I feel like he's corrupted Rob McElhenney from
Uh,
when now he's changed his name to Rob Mack. He's like, always hanging out with Ryan Reynolds. I'm like, dude, how the fuck do you think you fit in with that? Like his wife hangs out with Taylor fucking Swift.
all
Your
right, let's
wife,
bring it back. Let's bring it
sorry, dude. Like Ryan Reynolds gets on my last fucking nerve, man. Like he's driving me crazy. Thanks for pushing me over the edge.
Adam spun Joe up. I mean, I like him as if he just didn't do all this shit before Daredevil and like just be Daredevil, like that's fine. But now you again, like you say, you see Daredevil and everything. But anyway, moving on. Um,
back.
um, are we all do you have
Yeah.
anything else to bring up for com checks? Anything you're looking forward to and you want to talk about?
Uh, just absolute Batman 13 is we're getting the intro to Black Cat or yeah, Catwoman. Sorry, Catwoman, and her character design looks fucking sick too. I don't know if you guys have
Nice.
seen it.
No, I'm gonna check it out though.
I'll shoot you a picture, but her character design looks like so. But I have to do Batman 13, which is like three issues away.
Cool. Cool. We'll definitely review that one. Anything else you got, Joe?
Just get out there and get Battle Beast. Hottest comic book in the world. I don't know. But
You
I
need to
know
read Battle Beast.
I know the dude at the comic book store was like, dude, everybody wants a piece of this dude's nuts. So
It's fucking wild. I think I have I mean, it's only on issue 3, and I think I have like 10 fucking Battle Beast comics because I've just bought a lot of variant covers.
oh really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
I
it's
I
sick.
have the cover A first printing of Battle Beast One, and then I have uh cover A variant or the third printing of Battle Beast One. I'm a big fan of like just key books, picking up the just the man. I don't want to talk about speculation and money with you because if you guys go down that road, you'll spend way too much money. But I like having sometimes like the second or third printings. Like the first printing, they'll print out. There's like 100,000 copies that they sold, right? And then the second and third printings, there's like 30,000, and then the third printing is like 5,000. So technically, like the third printing is rarer than the first printing. So
Okay.
that's just speculation, and don't need to
Interesting.
go down that route.
That's something we can talk
Sometimes,
about in the future.
yeah, something, yeah,
Um,
definitely a future conversation.
yeah, definitely. I have a lot of ideas for things we can talk about. But this is our like our two-part first episode here. But yeah, let's move on to recommendations. All right. This is gonna be our basically final thing before we wrap up here. So before we call it a night, um, let's talk about Seamenverse recommendations. We're gonna each bring a comic that we are all gonna have to read, and we can talk about on a future episode. It doesn't have to be the next episode, but obviously try your best so we can make good content. Um, so it doesn't matter if it's something that's old or new. It could be an indie book, it could be mainstream, doesn't really matter. Um, so let's go. Recommendations. Adam, you start.
Yeah, I mean, we gave Scott Snyder a lot of flowers on this episode, rightly so. We're all big fans of Batman and a bunch of the stuff that he did. So I just want to, for the first episode, I just want to continue down that path, and I want to recommend Scott Snyder's Witches, Wytches. It's an indie book, and it's a horror book, and it's really good, really well done. Um, I don't want to give too much away, let you guys read it for what it is, but like if you noticed on Absolute Batman number 10, there's a face in a tree in one panel. He
Hmm.
pulls directly from his comic book series, which is that iconography is prevalent in that book. So that's my recommendation. Scott Snyder's Witches. It's like 6 issues or something. It's not
Okay,
easy read.
cool. You could probably find that in like trade paperback.
Yeah, at this point, definitely.
Sweet. Awesome. I look forward to that one. Joe, what do you got?
I didn't know that this was going to happen. That
Oh, my bad.
I was going to have to recommend something or whatever. Especially since I'm already currently reading just about everything everyone else is.
I was gonna say, did you catch
Uh,
anything organically that we haven't recommended?
uh, I'll tell you what. I haven't read any of the Godzilla versus Marvel. If you happen to run into one and you want to buy it, doesn't even matter which one. Go ahead and buy it, and then it's only every story is just one issue. So
Oh,
yeah. It's not separate runs of everything. It's just I think it's one run of Godzilla versus random people. I believe they have Wolverines come out. Was like maybe the latest one. I don't know, I mean, I'm sure if you went to your comic book store and found where they're keeping them, they'll have they are. I don't think they're like flying off the shelves.
Yeah, I've seen a
So
lot of them over the past like few months. They have been rolling out a lot of different Godzilla I've really enjoyed those covers too.
yeah, I think the covers are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, so if you want to grab one and read it, and then you can just kind of just talk about it for 2 minutes. I don't give a shit.
Thanks.
Or we can all read, or we can all read one
Cool.
together. If we all happen to get the same one or something. I'm not asking you to buy the whole set. Just buy one. We could say something.
Is there one you think we should buy
No,
that's
because I haven't read any of them.
okay? All right, we'll just pick our favorite
Yeah,
Character.
team.
I'm just trying to make something fun here, man. It doesn't even matter which one it is. I
Yeah.
have mostly all of them, so I mean, but there's a couple I do need to go get.
All right. Cool.
So it would give me a reason to also go dig around and try to go find this shit somewhere.
Cool. Well, that gives me an excuse to find a cool cover.
Yeah,
So awesome. Good one. That's something I've been looking at and just not really like thought about.
I really liked the Hulk cover, like fucking like going for like a big ass punch, like, but he's like flying through the gamma breath.
Cool. All right. See if I can find that one. Okay, so my recommendation, I'm gonna piggyback a little bit off of Superman here. All right, so we've been spoiling everything, but at the end of Superman, we did get a cameo of Supergirl, right? Um, so with that being said, I'm gonna recommend Supergirl, the Woman of Tomorrow, which is going to be what James Gunn's movie is going to kind of be pretty much based around. I think it's 8 issues. You can find it at trade paperback. I think it's pretty hot right now because he did talk about it
Yeah,
being
name
the
dropped it.
next. He
Yeah.
did name drop it, but I read it and it is really good.
Interesting.
Like surprisingly good for what you would think of like Supergirl, like, oh, whatever. Um, yeah, it was fantastic. Um, so I very, very much recommend that. The art is amazing, the covers are amazing, and the story, I don't know who writes it. I should have probably prepared better for that, but uh I really enjoyed it, and I really think you guys will also. And it'll get you set up kind of for the movie that's going to be coming out. And then you'll understand why she's drunk all the time.
Oh.
And it's only like 8 issues long. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 8 issues. Supergirl, the Woman of Tomorrow.
The Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah, fantastic storyline. So cool. That brings us to the end. Finally, we made it. Um, yeah, I didn't really come up with a closer, so maybe we'll figure out something like quirky to say, but I had a good time doing it. Can't wait to do the next episode. You guys are great. Yeah, any final thoughts?
No, I don't really have any final
I
thoughts,
was kind
man.
of thinking of a sign off, like
Up and away.
like
No, no.
join us next time when we return to the into the Seamenverse or something along those lines. But
Yeah,
no,
we'll figure it out. Until next time, we'll see you back into the Seamenverse.
something like we'll get it
All
down,
right.
everybody.
Yep. All right, say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.